empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of
girls to the number one up-and-coming Valorant podcast on the internet. I am, of course, Coulter Fair, aka Astro. Along with me is my good friend, Rogan Prescott.
Oh, hey, man. Hey. That was fierce indeed. Well, I'm doing pretty well. I would say on the equivalent of how you're doing. So I'm not sure if that's well, actually. We're a bit, I would say ravaged in one word.
I would say fairly rambled.
Let's just say the time crunch was real when you're eating raw pasta with soy creamer because you don't have milk.
Dude. The soy creamer is where you got me, dude. That is so disgusting.
It wasn't good.
In place of milk?
No, I know it wasn't going to be good, but it's food. It's something to put down my throat because I don't have any. Yeah, it was a rough day.
It's nourishment. Yeah.
How are you doing? Did you have anything to share?
Well, I had some leftovers for breakfast, but I had some ramen for dinner, and that's I think what kind of set me back this evening is I made 3 packets of ramen, and I mean I don't have time for that, dude. I don't have time.
You told me you were making it, and then you didn't even say when it was done. You just said like you ate it all. Like as you were making it was gone.
I rammed it down as fast as I could, dude. I put like half a block of butter in there, and I just started going to town. I was eating just raw big chunks of butter, dude. It's absolutely disgusting. It was disgusting. I feel like trash.
Well, what do you got there right there, Coulter? Are we gonna make this a section or?
Well, I'm doing a live pour because we are, of course, live for anyone listening on their favorite podcasting app. You can catch us here live on Twitch at 7 p.m. every Tuesday. But yeah, I'm doing a live pour. I got something, guys. I'm not going to be able to do my standard drink announcement this evening because it has in fact changed from the last time that you've heard or seen me. I ran out of my decaf Pike's Place this evening.
No.
So I'm running a cocktail of sorts. I'm running a coffee cocktail. I got about maybe 3/8 of the decaf Pike's Place, and then the rest is just a blend of probably 3 different caffeinated coffees. So I'm about 3/8 decaf, and the rest I'm caffeinated.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, running some heavy whipping cream in this bad boy. It's of course steaming hot. It's freshly pressed. Added whipped cream to the roster. So that is a huge jump. Again from Kyrie. Thank you, Kyrie, for both the creamer and the whipped cream. Without you, I would just be running it black. Do you have a hot drink this evening? I know you were short on time. You were short on time.
Yeah. Well, I kind of forgot that this was happening. I was making my hot drink, and then I kind of just like laid down because it was like pouring its shots.
Oh,
and
no.
I kind of blanked out. And then I look at the time. It's like, it's 6:59, and so I was on my way to pour about, I don't know, maybe 12 shots. I only got 2 down though, because I didn't prepare for it. It takes a while to pour the shots. Yeah, just 2 shots. A lot of people know the next section after this that we've kind of integrated into the podcast.
That we've kind of combined with the hot drink section.
And I don't think we should mention what section it is. We should just say the percentage. Just give a percentage and then move on.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I mean, I did. What was that concoction that you put together for me the other night? Because I do have something to say. Not that I want
Yeah.
to, but I think I have to.
Well, how many shots did you ask for?
I thought we discussed an 8-shotter. I
Well,
thought that's what I
mean,
signed up for. Is that not what happened?
well, I did do double the amount of what you asked.
What do you mean, dude?
Dude, I didn't
was
think
I
you
dealing with in there?
wouldn't even notice. I think it was 16 shots. I mean, from what I was counting.
No, it was not,
Yeah,
dude.
it was.
No.
I never told you because I didn't want to. Especially after you told me what happened. I was scared.
No, dude, that explains everything because dude, I noticed it was a little extra spicy when I was drinking it. Guys, I asked Rogan to make me an 8-shotter, and then like half an hour later, and the shots are still pouring, and I'm like, Rogan, where's that 8-shotter? And this is what happened,
Oh,
guys. Dude, I think I probably only took down about 14 shots, dude, because there's probably 2 shots like at the bottom, because that was a huge cup.
you
there's, like, some
couldn't
at the bottom.
finish it.
And dude, no, I already started to feel some action, and I was like, I gotta slow down. So, anyways, yeah, that I gamed hard that night. So I was playing with Rogan. I think the first wave hit me around midnight.
Sorry.
Dude, that was so violent. Dude, violent. Like actually insane. It was like there was solids and then just air.
Colder,
Back
stop.
to solids, dude. I'm not
Stop,
I'm
dude.
not kidding, dude. Absolute shrapnel. Like,
Stop.
I remember telling you I felt ricochet coming back up from
Colder, dude. Stop. That's too much, man. That's too
Dude.
much.
And that was not to mention the second hit that hit me at like 2:00, dude. 2:00. I was like, guys, I gotta shut this down.
I remember when you said that. You couldn't take it.
Dude, I had to shut it down because I was just getting clapped, dude. So like we said, you're allotted, maybe 2 to 3 blowouts a year, and unfortunately one of mine was spent this week. With that said, dude, do you have any announcement? Do you have anything to add to your hot drink section? Or should we just move on?
I think we move on to the announcements. I don't really want to do any circling back there.
No, me neither. I'm gonna add some more whipped cream here, and why don't you go through your week? How was your week, man? Do you have
It was a good week. It was a lot of Valorant being played. A lot of anger also. Mixed emotions, going through. If you guys tuned into into the stream on Monday, I was definitely doing well, and then doing like just playing like garbage. More like playing like garbage, playing more. Yeah, it wasn't good. It was pretty trash. So I got to Plat 3, right? I'm one game away. And then I get my favorite map of all time, Icebox. Obviously, it's such a great map with the most toxic team, and it wasn't fun. And I wanted to win, but I couldn't. because it was just so hard to play, and it was nasty. So I had to I definitely took a loss on that one. I dropped down. I'm kind of on the lower portion of Plat 3 right now. But
Okay.
I've been going hard in Raise, man. A lot of Raise has been played. I think
Is that what you've been playing in ranked and everything?
yeah. There was one occasion where Raise was insta-locked, and I took over Sage, and I
Nice.
didn't do too bad. You know, I
Oh,
definitely
yeah. I was with you
plowed
on that
through.
game, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's mainly, dude. I think I'm on a good point where I have a good duelist, a good controller, and it's like I feel confident in playing Omen, Sage, and Raze. I think
Nice.
Sage I definitely need to, or Raze I definitely need to get a hang of. But other than that, man, it's doing pretty good. Pretty good. How's your Valorant week been? You kind of
Dude,
mentioned it a little
honestly,
bit.
I had a great Valorant week. Yeah. So, like you guys already heard, I was up till 2 playing one night. So, a lot of Valorant got played, dude. I got in. I think I streamed, dude. I was on Friday. I played for like 8 hours, and I got a really good stream in. I streamed for a good, I think 5.5 hours or so, and then I was actually, I kept going after that because some more friends came on, and I ended up jumping into some games with them. So yeah, I had a really great week. I'm still in gold 2. I pretty much just played ranked all day, and yeah, no, it's a great week, man. Um, I
What
did have. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
what's going on with the Yoru life? Because you've been kind of switching back and forth, man.
Well, okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell
want
you
to
what's
hear
happening.
it. Yeah.
So this is what happens, right? I'm playing Yoru. I've been playing Yoru a lot, guys, a lot. And so I was actually playing with Rogan's brother because he is in silver. So I was playing some rank games with him, and we were losing, and I just couldn't carry like hard enough. And there were some games that I was like not doing great. And dude, it's weird. It's like the jet just like calls me back. Like every once in a while, the jet just calls me back. And so I played jet with him. And then I was like, dude, I cannot go back. Like I felt it. I was like, I need to go back to the Yoru. And so I've kind of been going back and forth, but I always end up on Yoru, dude. Like, I don't know. I think I even tried like Killjoy or something because I was just trying to like, I was playing for so long that it was like hour number 4 of just playing Yoru. I was like, I don't know. I felt like I needed to switch things up, or I was trying to just like get frag harder, you know. And I
Yeah.
thought maybe Jet was the answer. She wasn't. So I'm still pretty committed to the Yoru, dude. I was playing Yoru when I was playing ranked with you, wasn't I?
Yeah. I was kind of with you when you switched it up to Jet and whatnot, and you were kind of saying you didn't really know.
Yeah. I
That's
think
that's kind of good that you're sticking to Yoru.
I'm sticking it out for the long haul, boys. Yeah, there's no doubt in me. So that's kind of what this week did for me. It just sealed the deal that Yoru is going to be my boy uh from here on out, I think. So but yeah, man, that was
Well,
kind of my week. I was a little some time was taken yesterday because it was my 3-year anniversary with your sister. So
so
that kind of took some matches out of me because I had to tend to that situation. But other than that, I mean, pretty standard week. But more Valorant than usual, so it felt good.
yeah, that's good. Definitely been playing a lot more Valorant since the last act. I feel very rejuvenated. Um, there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about today that it kind of excites me. You know, there's a lot to there's a huge future to Valorant. I watched a big pro tournament today, and it's pretty exciting to see that level of gameplay, and like it makes me want to get better. I know you mentioned on a really good tip in a previous episode on like recording your own gameplay and like looking back through it to see what you did wrong and how you can improve.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anything compares to, guys, like, I can't stress this enough. Just watch a pro game and compare it to how you play. Like, they are committing their life to this game. They're committing their every single day to playing this game. They know they know everything about it. They're gonna know way more than you. They have insane aim, and they're gonna play better because they play so much. So just like
Yeah.
watch a game or two, like just a game or two, and then just kind of compare it to how you play, and you might be able to get some tips from them and kind of switch it up.
Yeah, for sure, dude. That's
So that's
great
just one
advice.
thing I was thinking about it.
So before we go into our main topic, the main topic this evening, we haven't mentioned it yet, is we're gonna maybe try and spread some light on choosing your agent, like what role that you should play depending on your play style, how you like to play the game, maybe what agent fits into that, and then our personal opinion on that specific agent. So that's kind of the main topic. Before we go there, Rogan, we did get a little community feedback this week. And so I thought we'd just quickly go over this. Jimmy C200, he's currently in the chat. He's, a friend of the podcast here. He threw some questions in our suggestion box on the stream. So that's a good way to ask questions, either that or through Instagram or any other platform. But this works too. So we're gonna go through. Jimmy C200 says thoughts on people who insta-lock duelist in competitive. Rogan, let's start with you, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, it's hard to. It's a hard question. So certain like ranks, on especially like the lower half, people they get very hard stuck, and you deal with a lot of smurfs, like we've always talked about. And you're kind of just getting into the game. You don't really know how to play every agent. You don't really know. It's a lot to take in. Sometimes you have like a lot of maps and a lot of angles that you want to learn about. When you play multiple agents, it definitely switches it up. You're playing, Jet, and then you play Killjoy, and you're playing them like you kind of mix and match the two. You're playing Killjoy up front as a duelist when you shouldn't be. And doing that, it's hard to learn the game, but sticking to one agent, it definitely can help that on just like learning one agent and mastering that person to climb those ranks. So I think there's a point where it comes down to like who can click faster for that insta lock. If you want to insta lock that duelist,
Yeah.
like at a low level. When you're like 5 stacking, or like, if you're like playing for like team composition and you have really good comms, then I think that's when it becomes unnecessary, where like it's never fun to see like, an insta lock Reyna and an insta lock Jet. It's never fun to see that, because then it forces someone to play smokes. It kind of forces people to play out of like what they're comfortable with instead of just like talking about it. I usually click on like an agent that I want to play, and I just leave it there and wait until someone, like argues with me or just like wants that to play that agent, and then I'll sometimes just let them have it, because I can play multiple agents. Some people, they literally just play one agent though, and like they're gonna be better off with that person. They're not gonna be as helpful if they play someone else. So I think it depends on the position. But I would suggest, man, just like finding the position where that agent's at and getting those clicks down to be fast enough to beat the average insta lockers. It's kind of like it's hard. It's a hard life. What do you think?
Yeah, dude. This is an obvious issue that I think carries through like a lot of ranks. I think you see less of it as you get higher. So Jimmy, it looks like he's trying to grind his way out of Iron 2 right now. So as you can imagine, in Iron, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of this going on. And at this point, Jimmy, like at this point in your competitive career, I honestly don't think this matters very much. Um, and the reason I say that is, I mean, even up into like silver and gold, like where I'm at, um, team composition matters a lot less than you might think. Like the amount of games that I've won in gold with 5 duelists is like insane. There's I think, yeah, last Friday when I was streaming, we played 3 games in a row and we did not have a single smoke on the team. And I think we won 2 out of 3 of those games. So, and like smokes are huge. They're like a huge part of Valorant, right? Like that's not going to happen at a higher rank. It's just like at low ranks, man, it's like nobody is playing as a team anyway. That honestly, it's probably better off that people just play who they want to play or play the agents that they're good at. And with the duelist kind of being like everyone wants to just go out there and frag, get as many kills as they can, get the clips, whatever the case may be, because that is going to be kind of the forefront of your Iron 2 game. I say let it roll. I say pick an agent. Like if you can't click faster than, Tommy Zebra 2000, like if he's getting jet before you every single time, I would consider maybe picking an agent that's less picked and then just sticking to that agent and or like whoever you want to play and then just insta locking that yourself. I mean, I know it's nice if you're like, trying to be nice and trying to play the role that's needed on the team. But dude, like if you're gonna play better on a certain agent and you already have 4 duelists, but you just play the best on Jet, just play Jet, dude. Because you're probably gonna provide more value there than you are on your second time on Omen.
Yeah. I would
So,
say like the lower level, it's a lot more forgiving. Where like if you don't
oh,
have a
way
smoke,
more.
yeah, you can get by it. On the higher level, these people they have like their insane aim. Everyone has that like insane game sense and the aim. Or like if one smoke isn't down in a certain area, they're gonna use that to their advantage. Or if one smoke like isn't placed right, they're gonna like punish you for that. So definitely in the lower, like Coulter said, you pretty much hit it right in the spot.
Yeah. So I think this just becomes more relevant as you rank up. I say for now, like if you're debating on just playing a duelist and insta locking Raze every single game, just do it, dude. And just like get maximum kills as Raze and just rank up as fast as you can. um you had another little question here. It says, do you think that Astra will become one of the meta agents? Um so we kind of tried to crack into Astra on the last podcast. Um, guys, it's actually insane. I probably have roughly 12 hours into Valorant since Astra came out, if not more, and I have not seen her once. So I know Rogan has had a different experience, but it is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's because I was mostly playing ranked and people are leery of trying her in ranked games. I don't know what the case is, but I haven't seen much of Astra. Do I think she's going to become one of the meta agents? I for sure think so. I definitely think so. And I definitely think you're going to see her on the pro level. And I think that's going to push its way down into iron. I think it's going to just fall down all the ranks. It's going to start at the top and trickle down. And I think we'll be seeing her a lot. What do you think, Rogan?
Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen her too much as well. I think she's definitely gonna take some time to get through like the ranks. I think it's with every agent. Sky we barely see, Yuri like we never see. It's just like as it's like you were saying, Coulter. What the pros do, it trickles down into the lower ranks. So like if a pro complains that the op isn't what they want it to be at, and or like the pros decide that let's say like the sheriff is super overpowered, like it's slowly gonna like you're gonna see that more in games. You're gonna see that over time. Like we all saw like the frenzy push it's insane how like true that is. And like Coulter had a really good point saying it in that way. And it's like the same thing. So like with Astra, I played with her about like 3 times, I think, a little bit more maybe. But there's this one, he was like an immortal. He had like one radiant win, but he was like maining Astra. He just grinded Astra. And we had great comms, and we slayed that round. She has the ability to smoke so quickly, and her abilities that she can place down like with precision every time. And so like if you place down a star somewhere, you can like trigger the smoke whenever you want, and it's instant. Like Omen, you're like, okay, smoke mid. Omen throws a smoke, it's taking like, 2 or 3 seconds to get it down.
Mhm.
With Astra, she has to have good comms. If you don't have good comms, then she's not going to be as powerful. She's definitely that like IGL, like the in-game leader of like that round. If she's used right, like her smokes, like it's just like all about that timing. Her gravity wells and her stuns. I think all of her abilities, it comes down to like the timing and how like your comms are going to be made. I think we're going to see her in like I think we're going to see her in every single competitive game in the pro scene, even like in our little peasant world of Valorant. It's definitely, I think she's definitely going to be the meta for sure, and unless she's majorly nerfed, but that's my
Yeah.
opinion on it.
Yeah. And then we did get an Apple review. Now, this is from a coworker, a peasant of mine. He looks up to me in a lot of ways. So I don't give this review any regard at all, but it is 5 stars. And I told him that I would appease his cries by going ahead and reading it on the podcast. Apparently he was I don't even know how to say this because he listens to this podcast. I don't want to slam him too hard. I guess he posted this review, and he thought that we were gonna cover it on last podcast, and he came to me on his hands and knees asking why we didn't cover this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover it now. It's a 5-star review, like I said. So thank you, brother. Best Valorant podcast on the internet. Tips and tricks on how to become paper one. So trying to take a subtle jab at us here. I think it's important to note that he's threatening iron. He's on the fringes of bronze 1. So don't take anything this man says for, don't take it with any real he just there's nothing really behind his words. That's what I'm trying to say here. But I mean, regardless, um thank you for the analytics. So um I think that pretty much wraps it up for community feedback. Guys, asking questions in the Twitch looks like it works out great, so we appreciate it. Thank you, Jimmy. um Again, we were probably going to hold this stream hostage, but Jimmy C pulled through, gave us some community feedback to talk about, and now we can move on.
Well, the peasants make
um
another week, with being
Yeah,
fed.
exactly. You little peasants can gather around the little pieces of bread that I'm throwing from the balcony, right? At first you're fighting, at first you're scrambling for a piece, but as I keep tossing that bread out, you become settled. And that's what I like to see, right? I like to see all my sheep just gathering below
Well,
me
yeah, and don't
and
think
just
that
and
that
just
bread can stop any time.
oh, I'll keep that bread. I'll burn it in front of you, right? And I'll hear your cries from down below and I'll laugh. So we're always ready to go to that point. So thank you, Jimmy, for keeping your fellow peasants from that fate. So um, I think we can get into our main topic unless you have anything else to add here, Rogan.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Um, so yeah, our main topic is just choosing your agent. So this is gonna kind of seem basic probably to a lot of you, but we are not blind to the fact that some of our audience is in the lower brackets. Guys, like majority of the players are going to be sitting in like iron to silver. That's Valorant's huge player base. So if you're out of that spectrum, if you're gold and up, you're kind of like etching your way towards the higher echelon of Valorant. Um, and so we just have to keep in mind that a lot of our audience and a lot of the people around you are probably going to be within that Iron 1 to Silver 3 bracket. So we kind of wanted to take a step back. And I mean, even I kind of run into this, like, what agent should I play? I want to play the best agent for my play style, the agent that's going to complement me best, that's going to let me capitalize on what I'm good at in the best way possible. And so we kind of wanted to go through a system that, maybe will help you get there. Like, if you're on the edge of, should I play Brimstone or Viper? Maybe, this can help a little bit. So we're going to go through the agent roles. Rogan, do you want to go through the agent roles, what each one is, and their little bio according to Valorant?
Yeah, I'll just go through it really quickly. So we have controller. Controllers are experts in slicing up dangerous territory to set their team up for success. This is straight from Valorant. Duelists. Duelists are self-sufficient fraggers who their team expects through abilities and skills to get high frags and seek out engagements first. Initiators. Initiators challenge angles by setting up their team to enter contested ground and push defenders away. And then Sentinels. Sentinels are defensive experts who can lock down areas and watch flanks, both on attackers and defenders' rounds. So I'm just gonna kind of give like just where the agents kind of are. You guys probably already know all of this. For controllers, we have Astra, Brimstone, Omen, and Viper. Duelists, we have Jet, Phoenix, Raze, Reyna, and Yoru, which is 5 agents. And then initiators, Sova, Sky, and Breach. And then Sentinels, Cypher, Killjoy, and Sage. So duelists have five agents, so there's definitely a lot more duelists than any other group here. And that's pretty much just kind of like the basics of that. So I'll kind of give my thoughts on what each role is. Starting with Sentinels, I think Sentinels are just like pretty much an agent where you're not going to be wanting to push out in the front. I had a Sage when I was streaming, playing a competitive round. The Sage literally pushed out of B main every round on Ascent. Every single round pushed out without using a single ability, which she's not doing a single thing, and her abilities are not helping her get any kills. Not a single one. She's not playing with her flashes at all. Like, if it's Phoenix pushing out, then it's completely different. And it's very there was a lot of tension in that round between the people who were playing. And if you're running out like that, there's no point of playing Sage. Like, just play Phoenix. Like, give yourself the upper hand of that. And then also, granted, for Sentinels, if you are pushing out, just throw a wall down or something, At least throw a wall, throw some like orbs, and just use your abilities before you kind of make a move like that, just to like stall the enemy team, and not just like screw your team over.
So you're saying that maybe people shouldn't be a battle Sage?
Well, there's a time and place for a battle Sage, but it's like these people are literally they're saving their wall to boost them on top of a box just to get a peek. We're like, yeah, that might be a good idea, but if you're doing it every single round and they're blasting through mid on split, like a wall there on mid is gonna stall them and be way more effective than you doing it yourself. Like, there are roles for each. Like, you need to play by your role. That's kind of what Coulter and I are going to be talking about. And then for initiators, this is Sova, Sky, and Breach. So Breach, I'm just going to take Breach for example. He has 3 flashes, and he is insane if he plays with his team. If you're a duelist and you just like ping a place where you want Breach to flash, and Breach flashes there, it is so effective because you can just push through an area without being stopped at all. Because Breach, he can flash so far back. He can literally just stand like in the middle of the pack and help out his entire team. I know Eric. We don't really like mentioning him in the podcast, but I did play with him. But like I just called out a stun, like to stun like U-Haul, and then I just threw a nade there right away. And if someone's stunned there, they're pretty much dead. So like initiators are definitely like it goes with the same with Sky and Sova. They're agents that can help out their team a lot more than just themselves usually. Like for Sky, she physically cannot she can't use her flashes for herself as effectively as if she uses her flashes for her team. Because she can't pull out her gun fast enough. It definitely is like a lot longer to do, and she can angle her birds a lot better, and she can shoot them way up in front. So initiators, I would say probably like middle of the pack. Definitely like just initiating like your duelists to get onto site. And then your sentinels are going to be like your flanks and kind of like your defensive agents. Moving on to duelists, we have Jet, Phoenix, Raze, Reyna, and Yuru. It's just simple, guys. It's a duelist. You know, you're fragging out. You're there to get kills. You're there to win those clutch rounds and to initiate, kind of like the initiator role, but being in the front. And the thing is that a lot of duelists they're scared to break open in the front, man. They're so scared. Like Coulter, we both have seen it where like a Phoenix flashes and he doesn't push out.
Yeah.
You need to just push. Like if you are getting one tapped every round, but that's a trade because your team's pushing with you and you're in the front, you're kind of taking that blunt of the damage, but you're flashing, you know, 2 guys on site or something. You're doing your role. Like that's good. That's not a bad thing because like, okay, so what? You're not getting a ton amount of kills. You're the one that's in front and taking all that damage and getting your team on site, which is way better than anything that you could do. I would say don't be afraid. That's kind of a lot of like flaws that when people play duelists is that they're afraid to push, they're afraid to initiate things. For the controller, we have Astra, Brimstone, Omen, and Viper. They're pretty much just your smoke agents. I would say Viper is definitely not as a great smoke agent. We don't really see her as like just like a straight smoking agent. So she's kind of like separate from the controller side of things. She definitely has a different like type of use. Great for post plant. Omen, Brimstone, and Astra, they're great for just, you know, they're your average smokers, right? You need somebody to provide that support just to clear off an angle. They're a great way to prevent opping. If you're peeking, you know, some corridor and someone's opping it every single round and you just get picked off, there's no point to do that. You know, like just smoke off an area and then push, wait for your smokes until they're down. It's definitely very, very useful to get on site. They kind of just like help out that push, kind of it's like a preparation to push onto site and great for defense and to hold areas very well. Those are my thoughts. I don't know, Coulter, if you wanted to run through kind of the same that I was doing maybe and give your quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, dude. One thing that I really just wanted to pound home is I thought it what you said about the duelist role. I think a lot of people don't think of it in the way that you expressed it. It's interesting. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking with Shazam, and he was talking about the duelist role and how he was actually struggling with one of the duelists on his team. He's a pro player, and even they were struggling with this. Like even that thought of Jet throwing like a cloud burst onto site and then dashing in, um, just how much space that opens up for the team, even though she's for sure probably gonna die. It's just like everyone can get onto site and get some trades happening.
Yeah.
So I think that's like I think that's lost on a lot of people when you get into this duelist role is people like want to just have the super high KD and they're just literally trying to get as many kills and just stay alive. But I don't know. I think that you made a good point where I mean, it's the duelist role just to create space in the opening attack let people trade off of your death, and like that is your job. Like you're doing it. So I like what you said there. But as far as everyone else, I mean, I think for Sentinels, it's important to cover the flanks. Like your team is going to be kind of counting on you to cover the flanks, especially if you're playing Cypher or Killjoy. Um, like regardless if your team asks you to do that or not, I mean that's kind of just an assumed responsibility that you're going to be taking. Um, I mean, dude, I love it when I have like a Cypher on my team because
Yeah.
I just know that like there's going to be a little bit of a warning when someone's behind us. Um,
Even the Killjoy turret, man. I know like we both
oh,
struggle
it's
with that.
huge.
You cannot flank if a Killjoy has a turret. I mean,
No,
they just know like if the turret shoots, someone's gonna be there, and then you can watch flanks. Like if you don't have anyone like that, you're pretty much focused on pushing a site right away, or you have to have like two people or one person always holding flank. And if you don't, then like that flank is gonna absolutely trash on you.
dude, it's huge.
It happens, yeah, so much. Yeah, the duelist rule, man. It's like it's very interesting. Like giving space is huge. I kind of forgot like the jet dash. That's really big.
Well, and it's funny because me and you even thought at the beginning like, oh, like just like the jet dashing on a site is so dumb, but like that's literally what their job is. It's just the rest of the team has to follow up. And I think that's what is a huge problem in the competitive games that we play is there's just not enough teamwork to like make that happen.
Yeah,
Like how many times do you see like a Phoenix flash onto site and he's pushing in and no one is behind him? Like, and then he just dies. No one trades him out, and it's like over. Like his life was totally meaningless. So I think some of these habits are trained because people are just playing in ranked in bronze, silver, gold, whatever, and nobody really plays in a way that complements that duelist role of kind of sacrificing yourself for the better of the team. Like no one's really playing like that. So
yeah. I remember
um,
when you were playing like Jet, man. I always got mad at you if you like pushed in right away. But like that's kind of like you weren't like. It's kind of smart, Like that's kind of like the way that you want to play. It's not like a bad thing.
right. I mean, that's kind of like, as we see in pro play, that's all they do.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
literally just dash onto site and that's their one job. That's it, period. If they can get a kill in the meantime, like extra credit, but their job is pretty much done.
And another quick thing, like duelist, if you don't push right away, and then like if you just wait a tiny bit, it's gonna give the enemy so much more time to rotate, so much more time. And
Yeah.
it really like it's gonna suck. So like a Jet, if she dashes, kills somebody, like you have sight pretty much.
And you have to like support her
Yeah.
because now she's in a terrible position, most likely, with maybe one or two opponents having an angle on your Jet. And like once that smoke clears, like she's gonna get wrecked.
Yeah.
So you need to be there to support her. Um, but yeah, so that kind of covers my thoughts on the duelist and sentinel roles. Sentinels just cover your flanks. I feel like that's kind of your job on attack, defense. You're the person holding the site. I mean, your team is going to expect you to hold the site for longer than a duelist could, just because you have the utility to hold for longer. Um, and I think you did a great job on initiators. I mean, you're just trying to set up your team with flashes and stuns. That's all you're doing. And then the smokers, the controllers are self-explanatory too. You're just taking away vision from your enemies.
If you're an
So-
initiator with 3 flashes left, don't be lurking. Like, why are you on the opposite? Why are you on the opposite site? There's no like reason
Eric.
why. Yeah, it is Eric.
I think Eric should like change his agent, dude.
Really? Dude, okay, so he's a savage Breach if he plays him right. Breach is insane if he's played right.
Eric is really, really great at not flashing his teammates.
I think he plays
Like,
in
I'm
a
dead
he
serious.
plays Breach as a duelist. I think that's like the biggest downfall.
I know, but he also plays like super like a lurking style.
Yeah, that's true.
Which like I don't know, when his whole team is engaging on B and he's like lurking on A with Breach, and he has all of his utility, like that would have been way better spent like on the initial push onto site, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's just like general etiquette. Like, and that's what we mean by like just trying to play by your role because your team might kind of be expecting you to be there. And then when you're totally not, then, you know, maybe that might end up in a lost round. So that's all we're saying.
Like being
Um,
able to rely on someone's agent is really important too. You know, just like relying on that flash to push you in sight is really big. It
well,
makes you feel a
that's
lot more
what I
comfortable
mean.
pushing on.
Like
Yeah.
when I have a Cypher and a Killjoy on my team, I expect my flank to be covered. Like without saying anything, it's just 1000% should be covered. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I know it's not a good like example. I don't really play Raze. I haven't played Raze like forever, but Raze, she doesn't have any flashes. She does have like abilities that push her onto sight, but her like paired with flashes can be really big. It's like similar to Jet's dash, you know, like Breach can flash and then you can satchel just to get yourself ahead and get yourself like to get that pick when that person's flashed. It's like
Mhm.
everyone can kind of combine into one, you know, like Sova can give you intel, Breach can flash it, Phoenix can go for the kills with his ult or something. Like these
Mhm.
roles work really well together if they're used right.
I mean, yeah, this game is just meant to be played a certain way, you know, and it's like designed to be that way.
And guys,
And
that's
so
that's why we're seeing Astra. Sorry to interrupt, but that's why we're seeing Astra. Like she has every single role as a controller. They're purposely making her overpowered or just have an incredible kit so people play that role. Like it's hard to play. She's a great controller, an amazing controller, and that's where Riot is wanting to go. And I personally hope to see like we see these roles being played more because they're definitely not. Like we see the 5 duelists.
well, yeah, it's because everyone just wants to frag out, dude.
And like that makes sense. That's perfect, like perfect sense. In the long run, I
Yeah.
think like when you get to the higher, like I think personally, like in the future, when we get to the higher tiers, we're gonna see so much more team composition, especially when more agents are being in. I know we're not gonna be seeing duelists nearly as not enough. We're gonna be seeing sentinels, initiators, like new agents come.
Yeah.
So I think it's just gonna change that meta.
Well, and I think we're in a tricky spot with the time to kill being so low when everyone is just one bullet away from dying. Um, it's harder to make team composition important because like, you know, like take Jet for example. There's a reason that she's probably the most played agent in Valorant. And it's just because like her mobility and her ultimate allow her to just you know, get kills. Like, you know, why would you play a smoke when you can play the Jet and
Yeah,
just like, you know, everyone is still just one bullet away from dying. Why would you not have the mobility? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I think you're right. I think we're gonna continue to see the controllers, sentinels, initiators. I think we're gonna keep seeing them get buffed, and then the duelists are gonna keep getting nerfed until there's more incentive to play the other roles other than the duelist. That's just my opinion. But
yeah. I agree with you completely.
so do you have anything else on the roles that you want to
No,
cover?
no. I think that's pretty much it.
So I think when you're starting your journey on trying to figure out what agent to play, I think that the first question you need to ask yourself is what your play style is, because ideally you're going to want to try and play to your strengths, obviously, and then wherever your weak points are, you're going to want to try and choose an agent that helps with that. So, um, I'll go first, Rogan. Um, like as an example, like my play style coming from Call of Duty, I've never played a tactical shooter in my life. So I personally gravitated towards the duelist, like the more movement, the more pushing, the pushy style kind of just felt familiar to me. So that's where I started. I've never really played a different role. I have played Killjoy quite a bit, but that's kind of been later on. I think you just need to look at like, okay, say you are in a 1v3 and you win that clutch situation. You take the 1v3 and you win it. So I think it's like, how did you win that?
Yeah.
Was it just off of sheer aim? Like, did you just out aim everybody? Or did you just outsmart everybody? And I think that's like kind of a good start as to maybe what agent you should be playing. Like, I rely on my aim way more than I rely on my game sense. And Rogan knows that. Like, I could play Jet and I could get away with some stupid things. Like, especially in gold, right? I'd be way out of position and I just happen to get that flick. And I lean on that quite a bit. And that's what makes me gravitate towards the duelist style because I'm not really winning fights by outsmarting anybody. A lot of times it's just through out aiming. Um, and so that's why I play duelist. But what are your thoughts, Rogan, on this?
I mean, yeah, you said it very well. It's I kind of went to Omen because you got something there, dude.
What's that?
Something on your lip. I mean,
What do we got?
A little whipped cream there, dude. I think it's from your hot drink.
Oh my goodness, dude.
So I went to Omen because I do kind of rely more on game sense. I don't have terrible aim. I don't have insane aim either. Like I can't out aim an immortal. I know that. I'm not as good as him. I don't like spend the time in aim labs like I should. But with Omen, like I feel like I can play in smokes, kind of play a little bit more trickier. I feel like I can rely on that game sense and kind of more of like my awareness and playing off of my blind. So like for instance, I kind of like more of like I'm used to that tactical shooter. I kind of like going for the rotates, like kind of messing with people's heads, playing with like your enemy, just kind of tricking them, rotating around. And with Omen, he's a great agent for that because he has his teleports to fake, to not fake, to kind of just screw with your enemy pretty much. It's just to make your enemy like think like, okay, I don't know, is he here or is he not? Eric, his role, he likes playing breach and people who just annoy people. Like literally, his goal is to annoy you. His goal is to screw with you. Like he's a jet that dashes in with a shoddy. That meta, people got used to it. People countered that, so he switches to breach. He triple flashes one guy and absolutely brutalizes him.
Oh,
Like
just makes him uninstall, dude.
oh yeah, no, like it's brutal. People are kind of countering that now, but if you're kind of playing like that, I would say initiator is a great role for you. Or more of just like someone who like wants to screw with your team and controllers. Or more like the lineup. So like you have the lineups for like Sova, his darts are insane. So kind of like the people who do like putting the time into customs and looking at different ways you can use these like perfect precision shock darts to stop a plant. Those are the people who like really enjoy the slower gameplay, the more like precise gameplay. I'm kind of like going all over the place right now. It's kind of hard to get my thoughts right because it's definitely a hard process to know who you play because a lot of people play like initiators as duelists. They play Sova right up front.
Right.
But like there's people
Right.
like I kind of like with Sova, if you're playing him like just to like throw his shock darts in front of you just to kill somebody and you're not like spending time in customs to like learn his lineups, he's not going to be as beneficial. Like people have this guy named Average Jonas. He's a streamer, but he has lineups on every single plant site for Sova. Like every single map, every single plant site, and he can stop a plant no matter what. Like having
Yeah.
that as Sova is insane. So like if you're into that, man, like choose Viper, choose Sova, choose those people with like those fat lineups. If you are like more of a COD player, go with like the duelist route like Coulter did. If you like can rely on your aim, that's really big. Circling back, but like to Omen, that's kind of like the way I play. Is like every agent is kind of different. It's not necessarily the roles, but it's definitely like finding that agent that you really like the mobility that Jet has. That's why she's seen in most situations.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think a lot of it, man, it just comes down to like, how do you want to play the game? Right? That's going to be just that first barrier that you need to break down into like trying to figure out what role, because I think you do generally want to play to the role. Like, I don't know if you want to be playing Phoenix as someone that's hanging out in the back. Like if you're kind of hanging out in the back of your team, maybe should play someone else other than Phoenix. I'm really aware that you can play any agent in any role. And like you're saying, we see a lot of that. Like you see the Battle Sage, like she's pushing with a Bucky, right? And she's using her wall to like jump off of this box, use her wall, and then she has some weird peek with the operator. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to take away from that. I just think in the long run, and like there's going to be the anomaly, right? There's going to be people that are amazing at playing Sage that way, but I think generally speaking, you want to just kind of figure out how you want to play. I would divide it into two groups. If you're going to play, if you're more of a slow tactical player, I would probably play a controller or a sentinel. And then if you're a more aggressive player that's like in the battle, I would play a duelist or an initiator. And
Yeah.
then that narrows it down to like, what is that? That narrows it down to 8 agents. You know, 6 agents on one side, 8 agents on the other side. So you can narrow it down that far and then just play those agents and see what you like. I think that's the approach that I would take to it. Um so are we going into our little tier list here, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
Coulter
where
and
we're
I.
at? Do you
I
have
think
anything
so.
else? I kind of feel like we're kind of shotgunning all over the place, but this is kind of a hard topic.
Yeah, I mean, it varies a ton. Just finding that role that you should play, especially because like the lower elos, it's not necessarily such as like a team game. This is
Yeah.
just more like I think Coulter and I are saying like the most benefits that you'll find like in all levels of gameplay, and if you stick
Mhm.
with that role, like even if someone doesn't have good comms, you can still flash for somebody.
Yeah.
You don't have to be pushing in front because your team isn't like doesn't have good comms and your team's toxic. Like you can still help your team out. Don't get kind of selfish in that way. That's important. Is don't like still like stick to your role that like in what you're best at. Don't like switch it up and be dumb and be that battle sage because I think that's what I was seeing. This sage just got so annoyed at this other guy who's just like calling her trash, and then she just started pushing out more and more. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like just flash for the sage or something. If you are an initiator, kind of like help out your team in the role that you have.
Yeah.
I think that covers it
Yeah.
for you. You really nailed it, man. You did a good job. But Coulter and I,
So-
we scrapped together this little tier
We-
list right here.
We went out on a limb here, dude. This is
We put in work.
this is some hot business here, dude. This is the most work we've done on the pod since its creation.
The official Flow State Gaming agent tier list.
Yeah. So from hearing us talk about the roles, we're going to give you the agents that we think what is it here, man? There's 5 tiers and we have agents in each of them. So if you're thinking about playing a sentinel, maybe you'll give the sentinel in our top tier a shot first, right? This might help you on your journey. This is the agents that we think are we going to start from the bottom up, Rogan?
Yeah, let's do bottom up. But before we get into this, it's like this is our opinion. We aren't going off of anything anyone else has said.
Nothing.
Nothing,
This is just
because we kind of
straight our
wanted
opinion.
it. We wanted it straight raw because and it's kind of going for each role too. Like we think like this agent is the best in her role. It's not necessarily like best agent to climb out of iron, right? Like
Right,
the top
exactly.
agents are probably not going to be great in, certain levels, but it's just like the best for each. Kind of like a general, I would say, a very general tier list.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys want to hear what we think, right? That's why we made it our opinion, is because you guys don't care what anyone else thinks. You guys only care about what your kings think, right? And that's what we are. So we're happy to do this for you peasants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to start out? Dude,
Yeah, well, dude, I can start out, man.
maybe you should start out with our D tier.
Yeah, our D tier here. This is I kind of want to hear some guesses. Anyone that is still watching, could you just throw a guess for D tier? I just want to
One guess. All we
Yeah,
need is one guess.
one. That's it.
We'll wait.
We'll wait. Yeah, we can. We'll edit
So-
out in the podcast. Oh man. Okay, Jimmy C. Jimmy C. Congratulations. We have Viper in the D tier. Viper in the D tier.
Yeah.
This is good. We all knew it was coming. Right when we said the tier list, you guys were thinking Viper in D tier. she's down there,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's. What do you think? What makes her stay there? It's just like she has such great. We've talked about it so much. I shouldn't even mention it, but she has such great post plant. Such great post plant.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of beat this dead horse. I think
We have.
what keeps her
we've
there.
constantly beat it multiple times.
I think what keeps her there. I've said it in the past. I'll say it again. I think it's her lack of flexibility. I think that's what it is. She throws the smoke. She can't pick it up. Like she can run over there and pick it up, but it's like you're just losing time and you're probably putting yourself at risk. So you can't get that smoke back very often. And the wall, it's like you set it and forget it, right? It's there. So
Yeah.
you're committed to that site. And with those two things being the way they are, I think that for me is what keeps her in the D tier. There's just so many other controllers that can do her job better. We have some messages from Lingo that in pro play, Viper can be really effective, and that's super true. That's very, very, very true. She just requires like set plays. Like she's not good on the fly. She's terrible on the fly. So teams go in with her like with set plays. She sets the wall here, throws the smoke there. They have the full play lined out, and that's where she is decent. But I think it's still debatable if she's better at that job than like an Omen would be. But that's kind of a long conversation.
Yeah, you want to
So-
cover C tier? That's
So
it for
C
D tier,
tier,
guys.
D tier
Viper's alone.
Viper is alone down there. Yeah, she's by herself. C tier, we have two agents, and this kind of hits me fairly close to home. We have Yoru and Sky. Now obviously it pains me to see Yoru down here in the C tier, looking very close to the bottom of the list. Again, it's just what can he do better than Jet, Reyna, Raze, etc.
Yeah.
like how is he better than Phoenix? His ult leaves a lot to be desired. His flashes are, I mean, decent at best, but you're getting way better flashes out of Phoenix. So it's really hard to put him. Dude, I want him to be good so bad. I really do, because I've been putting in work with the Yoru, man.
Coulter, I know
What
I know
are
you're
your
not
thoughts on
not
Yoru?
feeling good, but we did cover like the patch notes a little bit ago, and they did say they were gonna buff Yoru. I think he needs to mature. I think he needs some changes.
What's your hot takes on Yoru that would get him out of that weird spot that he's in right now?
I think Yoru is in like a weird spot. His abilities aren't necessarily like terrible. I definitely think his flashes, like, yeah, like you said, is just don't compare to Phoenix. I think, yeah, I almost think he just needs like maturity. He needs like someone just to like find out certain things with him, figure him out more. I think his
Yeah.
teleport, people like always camp it or like they just shoot it right when they see it. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that's like but it's also great how you've been using it to rotate really quickly. Like I've watched you play and like he is insane in certain situations. Like being able to get four people onto his site like in an instant, or like four people on
Yeah.
defending, or three
Yeah.
people, it's pretty significant. That rotate is pretty massive. I
The
don't
rotate
really
is huge.
I don't have like
Yeah.
extreme thoughts on it because I haven't even seen like a pro Yoru player.
Dude,
Like,
have you ever seen a Yoru in your ranked games?
no, I've seen like one. I think yeah, I've seen like one last time I was streaming. I think.
Dude, that's just so insane.
Yeah.
Like that's a problem. Like I think there is an argument to be made for the Yoru pick on bind just because of the teleporters.
Mm-hmm.
Um I've had some filthy plays like sending two sets of footsteps through the teleporters and causing a full enemy rotate and then hitting that site that they rotated from.
Yeah.
Um but so anyways, he's in our C tier and then Sky, dude. Sky finds herself down here. What's your reasoning behind putting Sky? This was kind of an executive decision on your end to put Sky down here. So I want to hear your thoughts first, I think.
I would say Sky is more of yeah, like I put her in C tier. I almost think she like kind of belongs maybe in the middle of B and C tier. I think like her ult is it's pretty garbage. It's not that great at all. I mean, it doesn't really do much. Like it's kind of like a Sova dart. You know, or
Yeah.
you know where people like are in the general area where they're at. And like the enemy, they can shoot it pretty quick. It's like not heavy at all. Doesn't take a lot to shoot, not a lot to kill. And if it stuns you far away, you know, like your team's gonna be there to help. Like it's not. I think her ult is pretty trash. I think her blinds, they're I think it's just like Breach, dude. Breach just like outclasses her in the blinds. He can blind from far away and it's like it's instant. And he has three flashes and they go like really quick. You can't shoot his flashes. It's like either they're gonna suffer that blind or they're gonna have to push out of hookah if Breach is blind if Breach blinds. Also, Sky, I think Sky's dog is actually really good. It's good for intel and stunning, but it's just not like an insane ability where like it makes her stand out that much.
Right.
That's like my opinion. I think it's just like I think it comes down to like Breach just outclassing her in those
Yeah.
ways where Breach has that great he has a great initiator role compared to her.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. That's why I put her in C tier. And
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I think it's less of Sky being bad and Breach just being better.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think Sky has like a lot of value. And I mean, we see that in pro games. The one thing her flashes do have is that intel, that audio cue that someone
Yeah.
was blinded. That's big but it's just so situational. Like if you throw that thing on the middle of sight, you kind of know that you're blinding someone anyway. So that audio cue means a lot less than if you were to hear that in a 1v1, right? So I don't know. I agree with you. I think Breach just kind of does her job better. I think for me, it's between the ultimate and the heal.
Yeah.
Dude, her heal is trash.
Uh-huh. It's
I remember you can clip me from like episode 2 or whatever it was
I
talking about
remember.
Sky, and I was like, dude, that heal is gonna be so OP.
dude. Healing's so
Dude, that healing is gonna be so OP. And then, dude, it's like I've never been healed. I'm dead serious. I don't think I think I've gotten healed twice by a Sky.
Extremely rare. Yeah.
It's so rare because she's so clunky to use, man. Like
Very, very clunky.
everything takes her weapon away. Her abilities are clunky feeling, but yeah. So I don't know. That's I would agree. C is probably where she belongs, or B, but C is great.
I would like to see more work. Like you said, on her ult is definitely a big thing. But definitely
Well, I
some work
noticed,
on
dude-
Sky to make her a little bit more balanced.
If you guys play Sky, I noticed that the pros they just pop her ult and then they just rush behind the jellyfish. Like they basically just use the jellyfish as like a distraction and like a meat shield.
Yeah. That's kind
And
of
that's
savage
how
to
they're
think
kind of
about.
trying to find value out of it. But that's just a quick note. Do you want
This
to take
is-
us through our B tier?
Yeah. Like just to mention again, like Sage can be really powerful on a team that has good comms and like a 5-stack. It's not like we're just like the solo queue is not definitely the play there. So for B tier, it's definitely very controversial here. Should we wait for some
Yeah.
predictions? There's 4 agents in the B tier here. Definitely could be
And I
A tier.
I think we're gonna get some backlash. Here.
Yeah, I think
this
we
is
are.
this is where things start getting a little spicy, dude.
Little heated, I would say.
A little heated. Jimmy already in the chat throwing his predictions out. Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. We are gonna
Oh,
make some people
shoot.
angry, dude.
Oh no.
Just fire away, dude.
All right. B tier, we have Breach. We have Killjoy, Reyna, and Brim.
I did not know Breach made his way down there, dude.
You put him there. You put him there. I
did
wanted him on A tier.
not put him there.
Stop it. Stop it. I hear the sarcasm. Your
Dude,
face.
No.
Dude, stop. Don't be
No.
like that.
You
Don't
you
be a
put
little
him in
filthy
B tier.
rat. Don't be a peasant rat like Eric.
Hey, for the 7 people that are listening live, and for the thousands,
Oh my god.
the hundreds of thousands that will listen to this podcast, I wanted Breach in A tier.
No, you
Right?
didn't.
My word against Rogan's. You trust me. I'm the greater king. I
well,
wanted
I
him A
thought you were the
tier.
greater king until now. You lie to
Well-
your peasants. At least I'm honest.
Just continue. Keep going. Did you go through the whole list?
Well, yeah, I already did. So
Oh,
get your act together.
Wow.
Starting off with Breach, he's an A tier. The triple flash is filthy. We'll classify him as in B tier for now.
I mean, he can bounce. He can bounce between.
He can definitely bounce between.
Honestly.
Yeah. Breach just for his flashes. His flashes are huge. Even his stun, it clears out. It can clear out a bunch of cubbies. He has a great way to clear out cubbies. I don't know the exact name of his abilities, but like his stun and then his aftershock. Those paired together can definitely clear out a cubby. Pretty much, he is just a great initiator role. Very great initiator role to push people back. To get them off of sight, man. Like the only thing, if you do get flashed by a Breach, you're pretty much running away at that point. Like you can stay where you're at, but people are gonna push through. Like he's flashing that when his team's pushing through. So like, Coulter, I hate you, dude. I hate you so much. You're a rat. That's all I have to say. So I think it's just like comparing with Sky. Definitely way better than Sky in my opinion. He's a great. He just has to be paired with comms. He has to be paired with it by himself. Like he can be played as a duelist, but he's not going to be as effective. Like we were talking about. So just like definitely flash for your team more. He can flash from super far away and actually like he can push people far away from like very far away.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
His flashes are
It's insane.
filthy.
What
And
do you
then
think of his ulti? Just
I
really quick.
like his ulti a lot. It's insane. I think it's one of the best ultimates.
It is
I-
kind of.
I know, like
it is kind of powerful. Yeah.
also people think that might be, yeah. It clears out an entire area, and if you're pushing through, man, like the enemy, they can't do much. Like they can get the lucky headshots, but it's like
I
if you're
know.
ramming through, dude, like Oh,
Ramming,
a breach
dude.
ult, and I double satchel.
Yeah,
Dude,
you're already
yeah.
satcheling.
I'm satcheling, and it feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, his ult is very good. Killjoy, B tier. I kind of was in between A and B tier with Killjoy. Just because of her turret, her mollies are insane for just like defending, like pretty much stalling anyone, man. She has great intel, like to cover flanks. It's insane. Like her alarm bot paired with her turret are pretty much like an insane, like full flank stop right there. Can't do much about that. Like everyone's gonna know you're on flank. And then even like post plant, she can just lay down her mollies and play back, and then just engage, peek, engage. Very great for that. Her ultimate, I've always seen her ultimate. Her ultimate is not bad. I don't think it's that bad at all. It has to be used in certain situations, definitely. But it can, like, you just know that'll push them out of like that general area. You're like, okay, this spot's cleared, and I don't have to check any of this. It's just that
Yeah.
like that instant knowledge of like, okay, I have to worry about these two areas, and that's it. So
Yeah.
just like that alone is very great. I mean, it's like compared to Sky's ult, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why. What are your thoughts on Killjoy?
So I think what puts Killjoy below Cypher, in my personal opinion, is just every single ability can be shot out, and I don't care how good you are at hiding your utility, that's gonna have an effect like in game. And like this includes her ult, like the amount of ult Killjoy ults that I've destroyed just by wall banging it is a lot. So um everything she has can just be taken out, which I think is less than ideal. But that's just my opinion. Other than that, I think she's great.
Yeah, that was a good way to finish it.
Yeah.
Do you want to cover Reyna?
Yeah, dude. So we put Reyna in B tier. There's a lot of duelists, so we kind of wanted to spread them out a little bit. I think we should go on just by first saying we wanted to put a lot more agents in A tier. It felt like a lot of agents belonged like there. Like the balancing is fairly decent in this game. So it's kind of hard to make these judgment calls, but I think putting Reyna in B is fair. I think we see it in pro play. She has less impact because her utility is just so selfish. Like everything she's doing is pretty much for herself. Her blind leaves a little bit to be desired. Like I don't think that um, you're getting as good of a flash as Phoenix by any means. Um, that's just my opinion. um, so I don't know. I think that Reyna is obviously insane in lower ranks. I just feel like in higher rank play, I think that you can have more team um, utility usage with other duelists. So that's kind of where I leave Reyna. Her ultimate's super good. It's just again, she has to be just popping. Like you're just absolutely banking on being cracked if you're playing Reyna. If you're not fragging out, she's just super ineffective.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on her?
Yeah, man. Like if you are cracked, she's insane. It is hard. Like I think like you said, we both put her in B tier just because like it's hard to balance out the duelists. There are a lot more duelists out there. So I was like, okay, so I kind of got her flashes wrong. Where like I was watching a couple videos on her and I kind of feel bad, but
Dude, you were dogging on her flashes.
I know. I just don't think I think it's just Reyna as an agent. I don't really like enough to. So okay, so her flashes, yeah, you can shoot them out right away, but if you don't shoot them out, it forces you pretty much have to run away from it, and you have to like hide from it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like a blind that you have to hide from.
Yep.
And it definitely pushes like people out of those spots. So her blinds are definitely a lot more powerful than I first like talked about. That's just a quick thought on Arena. But I do agree with you. Pretty much same thing. And then
Yeah.
you can cover Brim, and I will give my thoughts.
So Brim, I don't know. I just don't think that he's as good as Omen. I don't think he ever was, and I still think that's the case. Obviously, his triple smokes are great. I just think that Omen does everything that Brimstone does, but I think Omen does it better. I think where you could come in with an argument would be I really liked Brimstone's ulti. And I think that there's a conversation to be had about I do feel like his ultimate is better than Omen's, in my personal opinion. I think it's great for post plant. I think it's great for zoning the enemy team. And again, clearing like, dude, like a Brimstone ultimate in like hookah or a confined area is just it's absolutely disgusting. So I think again there is an argument to be made there for that side of it, but I just think that as far as his role in general, being a controller, I think Omen just does what he does better. So those are my thoughts on Brimstone.
I had Brimstone at A tier and Omen on B tier. That's just because I feel like Brim smokes they're just really, really long, and it really can I don't know. I feel like they're really long, and his ultimate and his molly, it does a lot for that post plant and pushing people out. Omen is pretty good though. I think he can belong in A tier. I'm just saying Brim could possibly be A tier as well, in my opinion. He's a very well balanced agent right now. I think he had those buffs that really kind of pushed him up quite a bit. His stims are definitely holding back. I don't think they're just used, and I don't think they're like there's not good situations that it's used for. Maybe on save rounds.
I think if the stim was like a different ability, I think my thoughts on Brimstone would be entirely different.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the stim, I never see it having value, so it's like hard for me to get past that.
Just almost scrap it, you know?
Well, like just about. Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to take us into A tier, brother?
Yeah, that covers it for B tier, guys. Breach, Killjoy, Reyna, and Brim. Moving on to A tier. We have wait, should we do a little guessing here? Just a quick, we'll just wait till the first one comes by.
Okay.
I just want to hear you guys' thoughts.
Sorry, podcast listener, get wrecked again. Get your cheeks slapped.
Get smacked.
Get here live, right?
That's what we're going for.
Yeah, we'll just hold this podcast hostage until we get a prediction here.
I mean,
Ooh,
wow, Jimmy C is hot tonight. He is hot.
Jimmy C is hot on the keys tonight, dude.
So he says Omen, Cypher, Phoenix, Raze. We got Raze, Sage, Phoenix, Cypher, and Omen. You nailed it right on the spot. That was pretty much it. Just Sage in there as well.
Nice.
Starting off with Raze, I've been playing her a lot. I think she's started out as Savage Agent. She's gotten some nerfs. I think she settles very nicely in A tier. She's a well-balanced agent. She provides a lot of intel, a lot of damage output, a ton of damage output, man. I get consistent like boombot and grenade kills constantly, or like assists, no matter what. Like every round, it's huge. So for that alone, she's a duelist that can support her team as well, which I was talking about in the Raze episode, which is pretty big. I think that makes her stand out from other duelists. I think her ult is probably the most underwhelming part about her kit. Like we both agree on, it's just a little too slow to pull out, but it is useful in some situations as well. So that covers it for Raze. What do you think? Any thoughts?
No, not much to add, dude. Just insane damage output, really good mobility. I think she just belongs in A due to the sheer fact of just how much damage she can put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and then Sage, it's kind of the same thing with Ray. She's a balanced character right now. Sage is. If you have like a good Sage, it's very good. Like her ultimate is like I would say probably one of the best ults out there for sure. Being able to get a res, and then her wall alone is just like insane. Her wall and her slows are very big for her kit. She can lock down an area, just pretty much block off an entire site, and they know no one can push through there. They can block off that complete area, especially on save rounds. Man, you can't do much if you're shooting it with a classic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I would Sage definitely belongs there. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think the wall is just so unique. It's so powerful, and there's so much that you can do with it that I think we would be remiss to put her in a lower rank. I think A tier is probably legit, and her ultimate is just too strong to ignore, dude. It's
Yeah.
like insane how good her ultimate is.
And dude, it's so hard to do this tier list because it's like there's so many different variables that can go about it. You know, some of these agents can be an S tier even. So, moving
Well,
on to
right, dude. You come across like people that are cracked with
yeah,
Viper, so
uh
it's like,
huh, yeah,
but I don't know. This is just our opinion.
and then Phoenix, A tier. What I was saying about Phoenix is that he's very self sufficient. He can heal himself. He doesn't have to have like that Sage heal. His blinds are really good. His wall is a good way to block off an area to get on site right away. Um, Damage output's great. He can have his molly to clear cubbies. It's not like stupidly insane abilities, but they're like good. You know, they're great abilities that can be you can kind of rely on Phoenix to get kills. His ultimate is also probably one of the best ults out there too, because it's like a res pretty much. Like you don't have to right when he ults, man, all that player's confidence, he has the highest confidence because he knows he's not gonna die. You're not
Yeah.
afraid to swing a corner, and that's
Mhm.
what people don't expect by a Phoenix ult. And people either get terrified from Phoenix's ult and they'll just run off of sight, giving you full reign of sight, or people will challenge that and you have the chance to get a kill without losing anyone. So that
Yeah.
alone is fat. That's like really big for entry fragging and getting on a site. That's why he's A tier. Do you want to take over Cypher?
Yeah. I
Or
think
your thoughts
Cypher,
on Phoenix?
dude, Phoenix. I think just like you pretty much said it. I think he's like almost. If you spend any time thinking about Phoenix, it's like he's almost the most well-rounded agent out there. Like he has like a mini wall that he can control, like to a degree. He has the flashes, and his like combos that he can do, like between the wall and the flashes, like flashing through his wall, stuff like that is insane. So there's like an element of creativity that goes along with Phoenix that I think is huge. And yeah, being able to use that Molly aggressively or defensively is massive. And then his ultimate is just, I would probably say one of my top five in the game. I mean, it's just insane. Like you're getting a sixth player for a short duration, but sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, very true.
Um, Cypher, we put Cypher over Killjoy, and it wasn't easy. Again, we kind of wanted to put them both in the A tier. Um, the camera kind of put Cypher over Killjoy for us. I think it's kind of hard to deny how effective the camera is. And then combine that with his tripwires and the cage is I mean, he's just an all-around great sentinel. He's kind of been the staple for a long time. Um, I prefer to play Killjoy. I feel like Cypher can man, that Cypher camera, especially with the dart, like if you have teammates that are using that camera effectively, it's such a good ability. And I think it's overlooked, especially in my rank. Just really how effective that camera can be. And then his ultimate I really like. And it can be the difference in rounds. So
Yeah, his ultimate is It's very, very good. Consistent knowledge. And like I feel like it's always every cipher ult you see, you see 3 people on one site or even 4 people on one site, and you are hard rotating to the other one.
Yeah.
And that pretty much gives you sight. It's definitely a great way to get that knowledge. Best
He just
knowledge you
gets
can
so
get.
much information for free, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty filthy. His one ways he can block off a site so well, man. Even the Cypher episode, like when we were talking to Mr. Sandmain, he's an animal. He's an actual filthy animal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
playing
know.
Cypher on every site, just like being able to lock down an entire like map and getting
Yeah.
info on each place is pretty big, pretty huge. So
Yeah.
definitely puts him at A tier.
Why don't you take Omen?
Yeah, A tier for Omen. Like I said, I was kind of debating on Omen being A or B tier. His nerf set his smokes back quite a bit. He's just not as quick as he used to be. But his blind is obviously the best in the game, or close to being the best. It clears. It's such a wide blind. It really smacks an entire. It blocks out their noise completely. His smokes are affected by gravity, which is really big, and that teleport. He's a great person just to mess with people's heads, get onto site without people really knowing, and to smoke off areas, give one ways. His smokes are great for that gravity. Really big. So I think the one thing that sets him back is his ultimate, and how slow his smokes travel right now. It's
And
pretty
the
big.
duration of his smokes right now.
The
dude.
duration of his smokes really, are pretty trash. And even his teleport, it's really a risk teleporting. It's not like a guaranteed, like, hey, I'm gonna make it over here safely. Like I'm gonna be up front
Yeah.
in the smoke.
Yeah.
You're always taking a risk with that. Always. His ultimate is by far it's probably one of the worst ultimates. Close to it.
It does seem like basically it's only good for rotating.
Yeah, well, in those in those clutch situations when someone's on site, you can, like we talked about, you can get that plant right away. But even then, like you aren't going to be guaranteed that round. Like it doesn't compare to Breach's ult in any way.
I was just gonna bring up Breach's
Yeah.
ultimate. It's like you're just not comparing the two.
Well, and
you know?
Omen is a controller too, right? So it's like his teleport. You don't want to be teleporting on site, and then they won't have your smokes if you die right away.
Yeah.
That sums it up for A tier. What are your thoughts on Omen? Is it pretty much
Nothing
you
to
pretty
add.
much cleared
Yeah,
that? All right.
Nothing to add. Yeah.
All right, so summing up for A tier, we have Raze, Sage, Phoenix, Cypher, and Omen. And dude,
Oh.
this is big. Wow,
This is
I got little tingles,
I didn't even expect to see this in our S tier, honestly.
Well, I'm very
takes me off
surprised.
guard.
I'm very surprised that you put some people up here.
You're surprised that I put one person up here because I only put one person here, right? You put the other two up here.
Very quick. We didn't really look at it that much at all. So, okay, dude, the thing is that like we have a lot of agents that can be S tier.
Dude, I feel like we are losing listeners here. We got a lot of rage in the chat.
A lot of rage.
We have
yeah.
a lot of rage. Jimmy not happy. We may have.
I would
done
say
ourselves in
say
here.
for both of our sake, Sova belongs in A tier. Or
Dude,
S tier.
I would say that's debatable, dude.
I would say I'm saying he's not like way above
I don't know
it.
if I would. I don't know if I would agree with Jimmy here. He's not seeing the S tier Sova, and I see his angle, but I think there is an argument to be made on the S tier Sova, dude. Do you want to just run our S tier really quick, rip the Band-Aid off? We're gonna drop all our listeners anyway. May as well do it now.
Okay, we have Sova. I don't even want to
my
say
God.
this.
Oh my goodness.
Literally, I say, where should Jet be? S tier. That's what he says. He's like S tier right away. I do not agree, but okay, Jet is S tier. And then we have Astra. She is S tier right now.
That's interesting to me. That is
Um,
an interesting.
Well, you haven't even played with
spot.
Astra, so get out of
well,
here.
exactly.
She's
That's
insane.
exactly what I'm
She's
saying.
literally insane.
Well,
The
why don't
fattest
you just,
in-game leader out there. Absolutely
well,
insane.
Just hold your pants, right?
And
Keep your pants up here.
this is for controllers, guys. This is like Astra is great at control. Like obviously we're not going to see her drop a 30 bomb every round. Like this is not the point of the tier list. This is just the point of like her kit and what she provides to the team. She is Killjoy, she is Cypher, she is Omen all in one. It's stupidly insane on her kit, and her smokes are by far the best in my opinion. Like
Over a
absolutely
Brim?
insane. Yeah. Oh yeah. She can place down smokes instantly, right away, and she can place down multiple. Like she can place down the same amount. And granted, like her placements can be way more precise, and she even has more like Brim has his stims that it's nothing, right? They're like literally nothing.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
And for the record, Jimmy, it was Rogan that put Sova in the S tier. So just keep that in mind here.
I'm
just
I was
if you're
thinking
trying
about
to
like the pro
decide-
players is what I'm thinking about. Like the pro
If
Sova
Jimmy-
players are so consistent and always
Yeah.
give the team intel. Always.
I'm just saying if someone is maybe trying to decide who to serve, if Jimmy is deciding who to bow down to, you can bow down to me because this was a Rogan pick, but I was slightly behind him, so I'll support him on this.
Obviously his like his playstyle in lower elo is not going to be good. It's not going to be that great. But those like Sovas that take the time to figure out every single thing up like from like for him, his whole kit, he has so much to offer. It's pretty insane. And Jimmy C, his owl and his ult are my only reason. His owl is insane, man. His ult is insane. His ult is a great counter for Killjoy's ult as well. If you do like tag somebody with the owl and then you just ult, that's an instant first frag usually. So I think that's why I was kind of debating, like that's why I put him on that tier. It's just a consistency. Coulter, you know I don't really feel good about this next agent. Did you want to?
Well, dude, I just want to stand up for Sova for a quick second because I honestly do think that he belongs here. Dude, I don't think that there's any other agent that can get as much information as Sova, right? And I think that when we're talking highly competitive games, like information is king. And so like these players have recon darts that are literally insane to shoot. Like they're on the very tip of some tree branch, like on Ascent, and it will cover the whole site. And you really need to displace your crosshair trying to find it. Arrows like that give huge information, and literally that ability is on a timer coming back already.
Yeah.
So
The multiple recon darts are insane.
the multiple recon darts are absolutely broken. Like they're actually insane. The owl drone is just ridiculous. You basically have a mobile Cypher camera. Like you're getting information without putting Sova at risk. His ultimate to me is kind of what holds him back, in my opinion. I feel like almost every other ability is better than his ultimate. Now, this might just be me. I just think his ulti kind of feels situational and a little clunky. But I mean, still an enormously good ultimate. So I think S tier is a great home for Sova.
yeah.
But you want to move on here, dude? Do you want to move on to the next agent
I would
here?
rather have you take this one. Like,
All right,
I will. I'm opening my ears to you, and I do.
Let me
I do
just-
see your side.
Let me just take a sip here of
Are
my.
you ready for this battle, dude? For the people to start screaming that they want their bread.
Dude, people are gonna be screaming at me from the hollows, and I'm just gonna be on my balcony trying to calm the crowd. Um, guys, so my
Oh,
my contribution to the S tier was Jet, and I know that this is going to I know that this is gonna ruffle some feathers. Um, I just think it's hard to deny the fact that she is pretty much on every pro team composition. Like, I don't know how you can just like look away from that and act like that doesn't matter. There is an argument to be made that she is the only agent that should be using the operator in the operator's current state because the operator is too slow that it is hands down. There is no argument against the fact that the operator is the best in when it's used with Jet. There's no argument. Like, ask any single pro, any coach. Like, people would laugh at you if you were using the operator on a different agent. Like, that is how unbalanced the operator is in Jet's hands. And I think that's hard to deny. And then her mobility in the hands of a mechanically insane player, like, there's almost nobody that can get out of worse situations than Jet can. Like, yeah, you can double satchel your way out as Raze, but it's so slow in comparison. Um, I think Jet, the downside of her is she's a little bit like Reyna, except even worse in the fact that she doesn't give your team like any value outside of fragging. I think that her ultimate is like actually broken. I think it's insane. I think the right click is absolutely disgusting. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Like, I think I just don't know where there's no way I would put her in A tier. Like, she's on every pro team composition for a
yeah.
reason.
I see where you're coming from. I also think there's something to be said about like why people think like okay, so yeah, she's played on every single pro team, but let's just say like Viper is played on every single pro team. Like that whole meta just changes instantly. Um and like Jet, she's so like she's just like a self fragger, or like if you don't have the aim for it, you're not getting any value out of her. So for that reason, it's like Jet's like probably the hardest agent to play. Sorry, I'm like still thinking about it right now. It's just hard because
No,
you have
had
to have
really
a good
hard
Jet.
feelings
You have
against
to have
Jet.
a really good Jet. That's all. The Jet ultimate is very broken. I would definitely say that. Like being able to jump and shoot with 100% accuracy is filthy. Catches people off guard completely. Being able to get up in the air, it's pretty hard for that.
Dude, her ultimate is absolutely disgusting, dude. Compared to the other ultimates in the dude, Jet's ultimate compared to Yoru. Like, give me a break, dude.
Yeah,
They're
but
not even.
but
You
the
can't even
thing is,
compare 'em.
the thing is that like Yuru's ult, it's gonna give your whole team intel compared to Jet's ult. If you engage that and you just don't hit your shot, you're dead. I'm just saying, like, it's such a hard like hit and miss. If your Jet's not feeling it that game, then she's garbage.
Yeah. No, I see
I think
that.
that's why I have a hard time thinking that she's like S tier. But if she's put in the right hands, she can't. Yeah, she's insane. She is.
Yeah.
Those are
But
my
yeah, I
thoughts.
mean, those are my reasons. I think we kind of stand in the same area on that, dude. Okay, this I don't know if we talked about this. I think we were offline when we were talking about this. Do you think that the operator or I know you don't watch very many pro games. I listen to a lot of podcasts that interview pros. It's in the general thesis of the pro scene that the operator or jet around the operator needs to change. Do you agree with this? What are your thoughts on that? I know this is off topic, but it's something that's kind of been eating on me, and I've been
Um,
wanting to ask you.
yeah. I think like the operator, it's definitely like pretty much just yeah, like Jet with the operator is one of the best agents with that.
Dude, it's the only
I
agent
think
that
the
you
hard
see
part
in pro play.
I don't even see that much of like any operators just like generally now because of like I think it's like the credits, man. The credit increase is pretty hard. The 5,000 gamble is pretty filthy. Like you're doing that on when you got max money
Hmm.
or like
Exactly.
takes a lot and yeah, they definitely made it a lot slower. Like you can't get those quick peaks. Like peaking with an
Right.
operator is not as beneficial at all. It's more
Right.
like just for holding an angle and kind of just like getting that first initial kill. So I would say it definitely needs to change. That's where I stand. Is just like I don't know how they will, but make it so
So
like Jet with the operator isn't as broken as it is
because
or
that's what's
meta.
hard about this is like, do you change the op in general, or do you change just jet with the op? Like, because it's the dashing away that's the issue. So they're thinking about adding like a delay of like scoping in with the op to the time that you can dash. They're thinking about adding like a delay, which I don't know, man. It's just food for thought. Everyone should think about it. I don't know. I think the operator's too expensive. Like if you ever buy it, you're usually not buying any shields or you're buying half shields. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but I just wanted your take.
I think one thing to say is that the operator where it was before, we just saw it like so much where like it wasn't a bad idea to have like two ops in the game, two ops
Dude,
in a round.
that is very, very,
And
very true.
that it's like it is hard to play with when you're just getting opt every time you peek.
Yeah.
Like it's just not fun when someone can just hold an angle with that. And yeah, like they need skill, but they don't necessarily like it's not showing that much skill. You know,
Yeah.
you're just
I
clicking right
agree.
when you see somebody.
I agree.
I think they made the right call changing it. I think it definitely needs to be like kind of finagled in the right area there.
Yeah. I agree
Moved
with you.
around in the right position. I'm not sure if it might be a nerf to the jet dash, but even then, I'm not sure if they should do that.
Because what's hard about that is when you take away the jet dash, like what are you left with? Like
Yeah.
that's all she has.
Well, and if you take away the jet dash, then it's like, when will you see an operator?
You won't.
I mean, you might, but yeah, it's just the hard thing with the operator is that for retake, like on
Yeah.
defending or even like
Yeah.
attacking, and like
Yeah.
that's why Jet is using the operator so much is because she's like able to peek right away and get out of there.
Yeah.
And get up close with like a shorty or something, a secondary.
All right, dude. This is the moment of truth. This
Well,
is the last one.
I already talked about it. I kind of like I jumped the gun on this one, but I put
You did
Astra
jump the gun
in
a little
S
bit.
tier just because how many roles that she fills. That's where I stand. I'm
Yeah.
definitely jumping the gun way too early on this. But from like what like if you just like look at her, right? If you just take a look and you see all of her abilities and see what she's capable of and picture her as a smoker, picture her as using the gravity well for post plant. She has great post plant. Even like pre plant to like stop someone from planning, and a retake is like it's pretty crazy. You can't destroy the stars. It's so like that alone makes me just put her in S tier because of like the capabilities that she has.
Yeah.
I know like I think she might fall down into A tier possibly. but I think if she's used with the right team composition, she's filthy.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to revisit this here when there's some changes made to Yoru, to Astra, possibly even to Jet, and we can reorganize this tier list. But at the moment, I put Astra in S tier for those reasons. What
Yeah, man.
do you have? Like, do you have any arguments against that? What are you thinking here? I know it's really quick. We shouldn't have jumped the gun on that S tier.
I mean, I just haven't seen her played. I think I don't think it's hard to see the future of Astra. I mean, like we already mentioned, I see her taking over the pro scene, like literally. I think she's gonna be very much in the scene. I think she's gonna be in the meta. I think she's gonna be huge. So I didn't think that you were just way out of line to like put her there. I just haven't seen her played enough to like have a real opinion. I think the possibility is there. I think she's the number one controller. So, like, that's my stance on it. I don't think it's way out of line to have her in S tier. Just looking at her abilities and seeing some of the gameplay that I've seen, it's been disgusting so far.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Valorant tier list. I just pulled it up from this like Valorant guide site. Astra is S tier. Jet is S tier. Raze is S tier. Sage is S tier, and Sova's S tier. So it that actually makes me feel a little bit more confident about our list that we have here.
Wow, dude, we weren't
Weren't
bad.
I'm very surprised that we got that right with
It's actually
Astra. I've just seen
interesting.
some videos on Astra, her being played, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That covers it. So S tier, Sova, Jet, and Astra. Definitely some movement in between S and A tier, even A and B tier. Some movement there. We kind of wanted to
Yeah.
balance it out. I think we had a lot of people in A tier. We just wanted to
We
throw
had
it
too
around.
many.
Yeah, we just wanted to throw it around.
Yeah.
Definitely give some room to play there.
Woo.
That was a lot, man.
Dude, did you have a glance at the time?
Oh god. Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh
what
my
I'm saying, dude.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, before
It's
we started this
interesting, for
podcast,
sure.
we didn't think we would make it an hour.
We were shooting for an hour. We had a little prep talk. We were like, dude, if we can just get through this, we can maybe get an hour out. And we're coming upon the 2-hour mark. So I don't really have much to add here. I don't know what we talked about. I don't know if it helped anyone at all. But hopefully this helps somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think we did good. I think we did great.
I think my final statement here is spend a little bit of time trying to find your agent. Think of how you like to play shooters in general, whether that's Call of Duty or Escape from Tarkov, whatever you're playing and you're transitioning to Valorant, however you like to play, try and fit that into an agent and then go from there.
Yeah. I agree with you, Coulter. Playing for the role that you find most fitted for you is definitely the way to go. Don't play a duelist like a sentinel, and same goes for sentinels. Don't play a sentinel like a duelist. Play your role is kind of what we're getting at. Anything else to add, Coulter? I think we're gonna wrap this up here, man.
I think I don't think I have anything, brother.
That's it. All right. Well, you guys have been listening to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, brought to you by Rogan Prescott, that is me, and C Doggy Fair, that is Coulter. Definitely Coulter does not know what he's doing because of this tier list. So just listen to me. That's all. That's what I'm trying to get at. Coulter is a filthy, dirty, rabid dog. It has been an honor and a pleasure. This has been episode 19, where we gave an agent tier list and how you should choose your agent role. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Follow us on Twitch at flow_state_gaming. And tune in next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Hope you guys have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Wow, dude. That was too long.
That was long, dude. The worst part is I thought we were like an hour and 15. Like, actually.
I know. I don't know where the time went. Hopefully,
If anyone's left, did we like drag on for an extreme amount of time? I know we dragged on, but like, was it excessive? Like, how did we almost break that 2-hour mark?
I think it was maybe a little excessive, dude.
I know, but I didn't
must
feel
have
it.
been.
I didn't feel it though. Did you feel it?
Not really. I mean,
Well,
I think going into this, I don't think I really knew that we were gonna break down like every agent.
oh gosh, AJ, just give us a dirty.
You just wreck us now.
I know, please.
Just smack us.
It's a podcast.
Hey, Lingo, just shut your mouth. We just want to know if we rambled or not. I mean, oh my goodness.
Whoa! Wow. Did
They
we
want
ramble
more.
too much? That's like the question. Coulter,
I think we
can we
did.
get a little whipped cream action close up? Dude, the after hours on the podcast, always something new.
Hey, Lingo, you're disgusting. You disgust me. It disgusts me that you're a
gosh.
squire. That was not my decision. I just want you to know that. So keep that in mind.
Dude, send your podcast in this Google Drive because I'm like on the verge of falling asleep.
Dude, I'm exporting it right now, dude, but it's taking a long time because it's an hour and 55 minutes long. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me
No
to do,
way.
man? Guys, I've never been. Did we kind of keep our spirits up? Because I feel like I've been hit by a train right now. I just hope that we like held it together a little bit. Dude, you boys are encouraging, dude.
I know.
There's
I was
like
gonna say
Lingo
that.
and AJ, dude.
Without them, I
Let's
don't think I
go.
would be here. Like, actually,
I don't think I could push as hard as we're
No.
pushing.
I think there would be
Um,
30 minutes.
Dude, we peaked at like, what was it? 14?
I don't know. I don't have the count up.
I think we were at 14 for a second, which
Wow.
is kind of huge for us.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they left as soon as they came, right? But did you already create a folder?
No.
I created it.
Dude, that white Google Chrome page is always like brutal in the eyes.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm so smackered.
Coulter, dude, you're such a softie. You barely even
What?
work. You have it so easy.
Dude, that is just straight lies.
I'm kidding, you know that. You know that. We were both talking about how
straight lies.
how we look at the time and we're like, shoot.
Dude, I'm like, I get off of work And then it's like I call you. We're trying to sort out the pod. We're trying to sort out what we're gonna talk about. And then I get home, and then Kyrie is calling me, and then I try and throw some ramen on the oven, but it's like that was my ruin, dude. And dude, I've had so much heavy cream and whipped cream that like my sinus is just
Dude,
clogged.
that is nasty.
Like just clogged, dude. Like the amount of dairy that I've consumed in the last 2 hours is absolutely filthy. Dude, I've like gone through this whole thing tonight almost. We're like down to here and she was like full.
What?
Yeah, dude. Like
What
cream.
about
Just
that whipped cream?
cream. Dude,
How much did you empty
literally
that?
like probably at least half.
What?
Oh,
Coulter, what are you doing?
dude. I slammed like a whole cup
Are
of
we
whipped
gonna have
cream at one
Are we gonna have
point.
a live blowout?
Dude, I literally feel, hey, Lingo, I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear you guys should go to bed, you should get some rest. Dude, we are doing this for you boys. Oh,
Oh no.
you were going selfish here. You weren't talking to us, you were talking about yourself. I was peer pressured into playing Reyna. How did that go, dude?
Did
You
your
probably
team just
popped off
Yeah, you
because
probably
you're an
went filthy.
animal. You probably filthied on some kids, didn't you?
Dude, Coulter, Lingo's stream is clean, man.
I know. I stopped by actually. Remember Lingo? I stopped by your stream the other day. I know. I like his stream. It's clean. I like how you can see his keyboard.
Yeah, I like that. I always
I
like the
was,
keyboard cams.
It's kind of cool, or like seeing like seeing their mouse too is kind of nice. Like when they get like insane flicks and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Lingo.
Speaking of,
Oh. Go ahead,
oh,
man.
I don't give a rip, dude.
Oh yeah, speaking of clips.
I have a dirty clip, dude. How do I put this in the
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one. The one that we dare to not mention.
do I know it?
Oh, Coulter.
What?
The Eric clip?
The Eric clip.
Left.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that cannot leak.
I thought you were talking about that clip.
No. That clip is too nasty to comprehend.
Yeah. Yep.
Do these guys know about that clip?
I don't know.
Have they checked the TikTok?
Well,
They're
I
probably
think
gonna
it's on the
disown us, dude.
Twitch. Even.
Oh my
Well, the
goodness,
Twitch isn't the
boys.
full clip actually. Oh gosh. Guys,
no.
it's on the TikTok. It's pretty gnarly on the ears. I could do a little live watch right here if you want to.
Oh my goodness.
This isn't really. Oh gosh, dude. This is so bad. It's embarrassing.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Well, should I just show them?
Yeah, I say just hit it.
I don't even know if they're gonna be able to. I'm just gonna show it on my phone. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah, you guys can see that. My parents are gonna be very curious on the sounds that come from my room right now. All right,
Oh,
well,
no.
this is me playing. This is on Coulter's stream.
Your parents are gonna
Oh wait,
trash you.
wait, they can't hear this though. Can you hear that? I'll do your.
Quick only, Daddy.
Everyone, note down your observations.
Dude, that is just disgusting, dude. That is
That is
absolutely
actually
filthy,
gross.
dude.
I know. Guys, did you hear Eric in the beginning?
Dude, Eric just went ham, dude. At the end, he was just he was like a dying llama, dude.
I know.
It was insane, dude. Insanity.
Well,
Rogan, how do I show the viewers? Can I just screen share with you? I wanted to show Lingo this clip that I got with him.
yeah, screen
I
share.
I clapped his cheeks.
Just screen share.
Let's see. Oh no.
Coulter?
Sorry.
It's gonna be pretty blurry, I think. But
Well, that's fine. That doesn't matter.
oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm going absolutely
Wait,
ham.
what are you doing?
I know. Okay.
Wait.
Is this good?
Yeah, restart it.
Okay, well,
Or go ahead.
before
whatever.
I restart it, the Lingo is going to be the rays that you see in this area here. So just keep that in mind. I see the Omen teleport. I clap this guy's cheeks. MacFin. Look at this snap.
Wait, restart that. It was pretty blurry from your stream.
What the heck?
No, just
dude?
do it like where you
Oh my goodness, dude. Anyway, Lingo, that was you, brother. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Dude, I don't even know how I got that shot, dude. It was like completely lucky. Well, you were running on 90 ping, so maybe
That's true.
don't play on 90 ping. That was super fun. We got to do that again.
That was a lot of fun.
Hey, dude, my podcast is uploaded.
Oh, nice.
I
Let me
will
download
write out.
this.
I will write out the.
Holy cow! I didn't think an audio file could get this big.
No, I'm actually not looking forward to listening to the whole thing tomorrow because I review the podcast and every morning after we release it, and it's like that's gonna be a long battle, dude.
You can see how brutal it was.
Yeah,
How much do you re-listen to the episodes?
I listened to him the full way.
Don't you do it like multiple times? Sometimes.
Occasionally.
Hmm.
I just try and think of the stuff that I can improve on. Like I already know I suck at talking, but it's like, what do? You know?
Well, if you suck, I'm literally a dumpster.
Well, we've known that you've been a dumpster for quite some time. It's this whole podcast is a dumpster fire, but
You just have to keep on taking out my trash before I get too full, you know?
yeah, I have to keep the flames as low as I possibly can, but there's no quenching the absolute awful burn, the eternal flame.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very true. Did you fall asleep on your way home today?
I was on the verge.
Well, obviously,
The
I'm always
last
on
the last
verge.
stretch on 97, man, it's tough because I think I'm almost home. So I just like
But
get
you're
comfortable,
not.
you know?
Yeah,
And I just start hitting like little, the little brake bumps or whatever.
right.
And it doesn't phase me at all. And I creep closer to the edge. And I somehow make my way back home. It's a rough time, Lingo.
Holy
I think
cow, dude.
max was like 6 hours one day of driving. It was on a Saturday, full snowstorm, and like everyone was backed up. Well, it's all about commitment, man. It's just how much you want a game, you know? But
Yeah,
yeah,
dude. I feel like we do a lot for the Valorant, probably unproportionally so. The sacrifices to play like come at a pretty steep cost for both of us, I feel like.
yeah.
Good one.
Don't do it, Lingo. It's not worth it.
You did?
I thought you were saying you did, but then AJ was like, "Don't do that, Lingo." Makes me think you haven't yet.
Do we have a discrepancy?
Are you on the verge? Or did you do it without telling AJ?
Hey Rogan,
Yeah?
I threw that bio in the call.
Oh, nice.
Lingo, what's your future plan? I know you've been talking about some freelance stuff, but are you looking to get another day job or what? Are you going to make some lattes on the side to keep yourself above water while you do the freelance stuff, or what's the game plan, man? Run me through it. Are you going to go
And now I'm gonna
all
slow
in
down
on
the music
Doge
here.
like I did? Um, that's not working out too well for me, by the way. But Rogan, I figured out why it had such a huge bump yesterday. The Doge coin.
Why?
It's because of what Mark Cuban said.
What did he say?
He said he bought a whole bunch of Doge for his son, and that he sees it going to $1.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's why it went so high.
Isn't it still going up?
No, it's at like 5.6. It dropped like 3% today.
Oh gosh.
Dude, Tesla went up like 20%, dog.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
That was insane for me today, dude.
Nice, man.
Absolutely insane.
I went up 5% today. Still in a fat hole though.
You went up how much?
5%.
Oh, that's big.
Don't worry,
Dude, GameStop is at 261.
Oh my gosh.
That makes me sick.
It dropped down to like 40 or whatever. Back again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was at like 44
Oh.
on the 23rd of February.
We have a response.
So here we go. Yeah, I've been doing freelance design. I think I'm gonna move to Virginia in a couple months with some friends. That's huge. Maybe just grab a warehouse job and build my freelance brand. I've moved several states in the last 5 years, so I don't know. Um, I know all about that moving life, dude. I've moved quite a bit, and it gets old, doesn't it? I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I just want to settle down somewhere, but I also this is like the longest place that I've actually been in for more than 2 years, like the longest house. So that's kind of been a little weird for me, but nice, man.
Also, anyone viewing right now, if you guys have any questions for like the upcoming episodes, throw them in the Twitch channel or just like Instagram message us. It's really nice having those questions to answer. I think Coulter and I have a good time. We need that section to stay alive, you know?
We will hold the podcast hostage
Yeah.
if we don't have any community feedback. I think we're both at that stage. I didn't even check the Instagram. Did we get any messages on there?
I don't think so. I checked it before we started.
Dude, there's just
at least
so-
one a week. That's all I care about.
There's so many people getting married. It's just
Who is
nuts.
it?
Well, I won't say her name on the biggest up and coming
yeah.
Valorant podcast on the
I
internet,
forgot we're
but
streaming here.
yeah, of course. Let's see. Did we get any messages on? Dude, what happened to our Instagram messages?
What do you mean?
They've been slowing down recently.
Well, no one cares about us.
Well, I know that, but I live near family in New Jersey right now, but it's very expensive. My friends all live in the states I was previously. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's just weird, man. It's like work, marriage, life. It just separates people. It'll just continue to separate you like through your whole life, man. You know, it's hard to like stay in contact with family and friends. It's like I have like 225 family members up in Canada that I never see, you know? It sucks. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answers.
It's rough. Well, man, I think that's kind of it.
Dude, I am literally having trouble keeping my eyes open. This blowout is just gonna absolutely destroy my life. I'm gonna blow a hole through this twin mattress. Dude.
I don't have.
Literally, I got the 10-inch thick, and I should have gotten the 12-inch because I'm gonna make this 10-inch feel like it's paper thin.
Coulter, dude, I don't have the energy to laugh right now, man.
AJ, I am feeling a little done, dude. Guys, I don't know what the answer is, you know? I don't want to be this tired. I don't want to be this tired when I do the podcast, dude. I don't want to be. What?
Lingo's message, dude, is just clean up thoroughly.
Dude, there's no time.
Oh, dude.
Lingo, if there was time to clean up, dude. I think Lingo is missing out on the worst part of blowing out. Dude, one doesn't simply just go run a blowout, dude. The blowout runs you.
Coulter.
Lingo, you think you can see this thing coming, dude?
Stop, dude, stop. I can't.
Lingo, I wake up at 4:30, dude, and I'm gonna be literally ripping the sheets off my bed at 2:30 with an uncontrollable urge. My pants are gonna be down before I get the
Dude,
door closed.
Stop, dude, stop.
Dude, and this blowout is gonna take an hour of sleep from me, which I desperately need. From 2:30 to 3:30, I'm getting my teeth clapped.
Coulter, dude. Oh.
And then I'm gonna crawl back into bed for an hour.
Without being faced. Just straight face the entire time.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dude. That was literally the reality.
Coulter.
Holy cow. Whew. So yeah, tomorrow's ruined. Dude, I think I have to shut things down. Are you gonna be able to handle it from here, dude?
I'm out as well. We should say our goodbyes now.
Thanks for stopping by the stream, everybody.
It's been an honor.
I'm not sure who's still with us at this point. But it can't be many. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
And we will see you guys later. Thanks again. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for everything, boys.
Bye.